I don't like reviewing consoles. I think it's kind of a waste of time. I kind of look down on people that get excited about reviewing machines. I mean, this medium has the potential to create stories that will last longer than Shakespeare's works, but when people get so excited about teraflops and pixels and little nuanced things in tech, which I do personally, but I think there needs to be that line between the art of where this industry is going, the culture behind it, and the technology that pushes it. We don't see, video reviewers, movie reviewers getting really excited about the new projectors that are coming to theaters near you. They talk about how the art is changing and how the technology to make the art changes. So if you're looking for that nitty-gritty sort of tech talk of all of the different teraflops and pixels you can expect in the Xbox One X, that is not going to be here. But I had the chance to really go hands-on with this for the last week, playing many different sorts of games on different sorts of TVs to try to get a feel as to maybe where this industry is going and where this black box will fit, 50 years from now when we look at video games. I think this black box is kind of dangerous. Let's find out why. The Xbox One X is releasing here November 7th, next week in North America, at a price point of Canadian dollars, $599. That is a whole lot of money for this sort of device, and I think the reason Microsoft is able to pitch it is because it's being presented as a multimedia platform, not just a gaming console. They're using words like teraflops. The Xbox One X is the only real console right now that has the ability to do real, true 4K. It does that because it has the tech boom behind it. 6 teraflops, a 1.172 GPU, true 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, which no other console has right now except for the Xbox One S. We'll get to that in a little bit. And of course, the 12 gigs of DDR5 RAM. This is a device that is pretty powerful. It's almost like a top-end PC, not quite top-end PC, for mid-range prices. Now, currently, at the time of this recording, the only games that were available in enhanced mode were limited to a lot of first-party titles. Microsoft has spent a lot of time making sure that we can see how pretty it looks, and you do notice the difference. The one title that I think most reviewers will cite is Gears of War, the latest Gears of War game that came out earlier this year. It is now available in enhanced 4K and HDR. When you see that on a 4K TV, it does look brilliant. It looks bright. It's comparable to some of the high-end PC stuff that I've seen of Shadow of War. It plays really well as well. There's a fluidity with the combat that you can expect from the previous games that seems to work. The console doesn't chug along. A fun experience. Is it something that's noticeable? Is it something that's worth the $600 difference? Personally, it's very difficult for me to justify spending that much money on negligible artistic differences. I played a bunch of other games on the Xbox One X, and they claimed to have the ability to decrease the loading times, to make things play a lot smoother because of the GPU and CPU that's in there. It's really pushing it, so the tech should be, bringing these games to the next level. I tried to compare it between the Xbox, and there were some pretty distinctive time differences there, but as an actual player, sitting in front of another big black box playing a video game, it didn't feel as if I was able to access the games quicker or the visual difference was that compelling. Now, admittedly, there are 100 games that will be available on release that are going to be available in enhanced mode. Now, enhanced mode doesn't mean true 4K HDR. It means, in some cases, just enhanced, whatever that means. Just it'll be better on your 1080p TV, and some of them will be 4K and HDR, but it's a slow slogging process that kind of allows Microsoft to bring these games into the folds. For someone looking in, early adopters, it's very hard for me to recommend this console based on the graphical merits, solely because there aren't a lot of titles that are really taking advantage of it. The Xbox One X and the tech behind it does indicate where the gaming industry is going. They're pushing specs that are closer to PCs, which hopefully will allow more robust features in open world games like Assassin's Creed Origins, which just has so much going on, or of course the example that everyone uses, a game like Skyrim. Ideally, this new tech will make that work a little bit better, but we haven't been able to see that yet. And I think it speaks to something kind of unfortunate about the video game industry. Consoles used to be an exciting new release time. It was all about getting the exclusives that were being brought out by Sony or Microsoft with their new console, and seeing this new vibrant image that was leagues better than the previous generation. The term next gen literally meant we're entering a new generation of technological achievements. Even though there are 8 million pixels on the screen with an Xbox One X on 4K HDR visually, that difference between that image and that same game played on 1080p TV, I tried it on a $500 HD TV, I tried it on a $2,000 HD TV. Absolutely, it's more brilliant and bright and exciting on the larger, more expensive models. But it's not the same generational shift that we've seen before. Video game consoles are now going the way of cell phones, except with the new iPhone 8 and the iPhone X that is now available. There was one kind of killer app. There was something that would, with the new technology, also have a new utility that we haven't seen before. There's nothing like that in the Xbox One X. There's no massive new game that's an exclusive to the Microsoft umbrella that's coming out this November, or even this holiday season. Every major title is available for both the Xbox One X and the PS Pro coming out this year. It's hard to see why someone would get excited about another big black box that doesn't come with support to the art that needs to be behind it. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about some of the snazzy features this big black box does offer for people that don't want to play games. The 4K streaming of Netflix is a great facility to have, and it's not something that a lot of consoles will offer. The true 4K Netflix access is something that people want. It's an easy sell to families that this box will do that, but it's secondary to the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray player. A device that in and of itself costs a couple $100. With the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S, you now have access to that. That technology seems to be a seismic shift between what we've seen in 1080p. We got to see with this release console, they came with Planet Earth 2, David Attenborough's amazing look of how the world looks. Clearly, that is a movie that will take advantage of the different colors and visual effects that are available with this new kind of technology. That's exciting, and I could see that being an easy buy for a family. The only other thing that I was possibly considering is 4K game capture. It's hard to see the line where the Xbox One X would be advantageous to a regular gamer. If you spent thousands of dollars on a 4K TV, then the Xbox One X is your best purchase as a multimedia family unit. If you really want the most incredible titles that are coming out in the next 12 months and you have a 4K TV, the PlayStation Pro will give you access to a franchise equivalency that unfortunately the Xbox and Microsoft crew just doesn't have. It really depends on what you want to use this box for. For families as a multimedia tool, it works great. If you're interested in getting access to the best games that are coming out in the next 12 months, the PlayStation Pro is your purchase, even if you own a 4K TV. If you own a regular TV, do not spend any of your money on these new consoles. People need food. Get a Switch in that case. But this new technology is kind of forbearing for what's coming up next. It's reinvigorating the console wars of yesteryear, of people trying to identify their flags of the game franchises they believe in, because those will be the game franchises that get early access. If you are in love with Gears and Halo, then you almost have a responsibility to get the Xbox One X, because those are the games that will get the 4K access sooner. If you're a middle-of-the-road gamer that doesn't really care about the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray tech that's coming, PlayStation Pro. If this is important to you, though, if you want to really celebrate what Microsoft is offering, then the Xbox One X has to be the console for you. But ultimately, I think we need to look at why these companies are doing this, why they're choosing to be more iterative as opposed to explosive, to create something new and exciting. The Xbox One X isn't truly next gen, but it is the best purchase you can make if you want to add to the multimedia universe that makes up your family. Again, if you see the lineup that Sony is bringing out in the next 12 months and you're more excited about that and you have a 4K TV, spend the money on that. Ultimately, though, wait. 4K technology, unless you have a device that can really take advantage of it, doesn't mean enough to warrant the price. Support indie games, support Steam games, and support the great tech that is being developed that's outside of the mainstream, so that game developers and game manufacturers know that you want truly next-gen technology. I'm hoping there's not going to be an Xbox One X Ultra or an Xbox One X Supreme or something along those lines. Let's move towards getting new big leaps in our technology and improving the games around them. I'm Andy Burkowski. This is available on November 7th at a price point in Canada, again, of $599. It was provided by Microsoft Canada. It's a great little machine, but it really depends on what you want to do with it and how much money you have to burn.